Start.
We will start with an opening statement from Coach.
Really excited this time of year, obviously, to be hosting at McWhorter Stadium. Little biased, but I think we have the best fans in the country for college softball. Our team has worked extremely hard this year for this opportunity. Just won a hard-fought ACC tournament, 3 games where we're behind every game and found a way to come back and win. And just really love the resiliency of this team. A lot of great leadership, a lot of really talented young players. We played a very difficult schedule to get to this point, and our team has earned everything that we got this year. And, to be able to host a regional, like I said, is a great opportunity for our fans, our team, and we're looking forward to a great environment and a great weekend against some really tough competition.
Let's go back, though, a day. What are your emotions as that last out is made and you realize, hey, I've been here since the beginning and we now finally have a championship to claim?
It's pretty remarkable. The first year, full season of programs, 2021, and we clinched the regular season ACC title up at Syracuse on the last day of the season, and that was a special moment. We've been close in the ACC tournament twice. In 21, losing to Duke in a close game, 1-0, and then in 22, losing to Florida State 8-6 in a back and forth battle, and then we missed it. Made the semifinals the next 2 years, and then to get back to the final this year, and just the road to the final, being down to Virginia 4-3 in the 6th inning, and coming back and winning that with a big grand slam from one of our freshmen, Taylor Pipkins, and then being down 9-2 against Virginia Tech, and just the grit of our team to come back in those conditions and just find a way to win the game was pretty special. And then yesterday against Florida State to get a great pitching performance from Reese Basinger and Brooke McCubbin, and the big hit from Kylie Johnson. It just it's indicative of this team that it's somebody different every game that steps up, and so it's been quite a journey to get to this point. One of the things that I've learned over my years is you got to enjoy it, enjoy the ride, and just really take care of the process. And that's something that we've done all year. And it's been just a wonderful season from a 3-6 start to now, being able to host a regional, and just to see the growth of this team has been really special.
And yet again, hosting a regional, winning that first ACC title, and within basically 5 seasons, because 20, you throw that out. There were probably some doubters, maybe you heard, when they said, why are you going all the way across the country? And maybe some of the players who built this program were like, well, why are you going to the startup? Is there some satisfaction that so quickly you've been able to accomplish such a high level?
It really happened so quick. We're sitting here in this beautiful stadium, and, as a coach, to be able to watch this being built from the ground up and then build your team from the ground up is an opportunity that not too many people get in this business. And just very grateful for our administration, Clemson University, our fans, and mostly our players. There is a core group of players that helped build this program, and without them, we wouldn't be where we're at today. And so it's really special, and it's a great story, the Clemson softball story. It's not over. We're still writing it, and like you said, though, in our 6th season, to make postseason every year, to host, this will be our 3rd regional. We've hosted 2 super regionals. It's kind of storybook. And but like I said, we're not satisfied. We got a lot of business to take care of, and looking forward to the challenge of this postseason.
The saying goes, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. I think y'all really encapsulated that this season. What do y'all take from what y'all learned throughout the season going into the postseason to hopefully reach the ultimate goal?
Yeah, obviously a rough start with kind of a new team, and I credit a lot of it to our seniors. We have a group that has been very successful in their career here, but we had a big influx of new players, and used the transfer portal with Reese Basinger and Brooke Melanchuk, and had to kind of figure out our pitching staff early in the season, and had to get the younger players used to playing against some tough competition. And we threw them in the fire the first 2 weekends, and ended up going 3-6. And, from there, it's just all about making adjustments and having a growth mindset, and the players buying into the system, and continuing to work hard and continuing to believe in our objectives and what we want to accomplish as a team. And you don't do it without great, teammates and great camaraderie within the program, and especially our values, and I think our upperclassmen have bought into what has made this program special, and they've, kind of transformed our youth into that culture, and you're seeing the results of that today.
Coach, you talked about bias and everything. Obviously, we saw that with the top 16 seeds, and especially top 8. In your mind, beating Tennessee on the road, split with South Carolina, you beat Georgia, you just beat Florida State, one year. Is the number 11 seed justified for the Tigers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we played a very tough schedule this year. Don't envy the committee. I mean, it's a tough job every year. We know that in the postseason, to get to where we want to go, you got to beat some really tough teams. I mean, to win the ACC tournament, we had to beat Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Florida State. So, the regionals, super regionals, World Series is going to be no different. And I think it's a good seed for us 11, considering we were on the bubble a week ago and didn't know if we were going to host or not. To be the 11 seed is a great accomplishment for our program.
Players like Reese came here to try to be a part of something like this. Did you kind of notice, being on the first ride back from winning an ACC title, some appreciation from those who returned, but maybe the newcomers like, wow, we really were able to pull this off?
Yeah, there's no question. I think, I think the players were so excited last night after the win. I mean, they wanted to stay in their uniforms for the flight home, so that I'll tell you something. But it's a special group, and I think when you have players that have never been to the postseason, who have never experienced the ride that we're getting ready to go on, it's special for them, and even for our returners. They don't take it for granted. They know how tough it is to get to where we want to go, and I think it's just an appreciation and a attitude that we've had all year of just bring it on. Whatever it is, adversity, success, rain, snow, getting stuck in airports, hard practices, hard weight room workouts, whatever it is, we've had this bring it on mentality. And I think all of our team has bought into that, so I think they all appreciate where we've come as a program this year.
You talked about that 3-6 start, and then there was that series here against Duke where there were some mistakes made that were, not the usual mistakes. At what point, though, do you think that this team, that it clicked and you went, I think we can go on a run now? Was it one game, one moment? I
think there was a lot of different moments in the middle of the season where you could point your finger at and say, wow, that was a turning point, I think, when we got back and played South Carolina on the road, kind of in the middle, and they thumped us pretty good over there. But then they came here to play us, and it was a closely fought battle, and I think they were the 2 RPI at the time, and one of our freshmen stepped up and hit 2 big home runs to beat them. And then we go on the road and take a series, we sweep a series, and then have to go to Tennessee. And to beat Tennessee at Tennessee, at the time they were number 1 in the country, I think that just gave us the confidence and the swag to say, hey, we're a really good team. We can play with anybody. We played the toughest schedule in the country. And we kind of got on a roll, and we had one little hiccup on senior day against Boston College. And other than that, this team's been fantastic the second half of the season. And, a lot goes to our leadership, and just having those seniors to lead this young team has been really special.
Yeah, over in Atlanta, I asked you about this team and wearing the emotions on their sleeves when things, didn't seem like it was going to go their way. Now that they've accomplished something, have you seen that emotion kind of just go away and they just kind of relax now and kind of say, hey, we know we can do this now, and just let the game play and us, do what we're supposed to do on the field and let everything else take care of itself?
There's no question. There's a confidence with this group. It all starts in the pitching circle, really. And Reese Basinger and Brooke McCubbin and Macy Centron have just done a fantastic job for us this year, keeping us in games. We have a really dynamic offense that can score runs up and down the lineup in many different ways. We can situationally hit. We can beat you with speed. We can beat you with the long ball. And when you combine the pitching and the offense and then add defense, it's a dangerous group. And what kind of showed me yesterday, Kylie hits the big 2-run homer. We're up 2-1. We need 3 outs to win an ACC championship, and they get the first 2 runners on base. So I call timeout and go out to the circle, and there was just a sense of really calmness confidence within that circle. And I looked Brooke McCubbin in the eye, and there was no fear. There was no, they were just listening to the words that I had to say to try to calm them down, but I really didn't have to say anything. I could see that they all had the composure, and they knew that we were going to win this game. And we proceeded to get the next 3 outs and win a championship. So that says a lot to me, to be able to pitch out of that circumstance against a really good Florida State team, that this team has what it takes.
You've talked about it a lot already, but in terms of resiliency, how's that going to be so important as you go through the entirety of this postseason?
Yeah, I mean, the NCAA tournament is really tough. The parity in college softball right now is unmatched. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day, and when you look at the 64 teams that were announced, there's really good teams. And when you have 4 teams here like we have this weekend, and in upstate, which we got to play first, and they won their conference. We played them last year in Alabama in the regionals. They're a really good program, and then 2 really storied programs, with Northwestern and Kentucky. So it's a tough regional, but I know we're prepared for it. This season has prepared us for anything that postseason can throw at us.
Clemson baseball coach Edgar Airbacker said you guys have the coach have a group chat, and they kind of congratulated you guys after winning the ACC tournament. What were some of the things they shared with you after you guys won the championship? Yeah,
we have a head coach group chat, and it's just a phenomenal group of coaches and leaders, and we always congratulate each other on big wins. And certainly Coach Backich, what he's doing at baseball is pretty special. And there's just a aura with Clemson athletics that it's a gritty athletic department, And as Dabo said, we're little old Clemson, let's go shock the world. And I think they've done that at baseball, and what they've done in a short amount of time that he's been there. And certainly if you look at what we've done in 6 years as a program, it's pretty special. But it's a great group of head coaches that support each other. And, it's a tough business. It really is. The landscape of college athletics is changing. And so we pick each other's minds, and it's a great support group. But when one of us has success, it's all about congratulating each other and enjoying the moment.
Is that it?
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
it. We'll see you guys this weekend. Go Tigers.